Hey everyone, welcome back to LC Drone Solutions. My name is Lemire Carter, and I want you to imagine waking up to a thud outside and finding a crashed Amazon drone in your yard. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, that's the exact scenario that played out in a quiet neighborhood in Tolleson, Arizona.
Valley apartment complex that an Amazon drone came crashing down into this courtyard. Fortunately, nobody was around and no one was hurt. But some neighbors tell me it was quite a shock. This is what an Amazon delivery drone looks like in the air.
How did this crash?
And this is what an Amazon drone looks like on the ground, where it's not supposed to be.
I only saw it once it did crash land and it was upside down on its back at that point.
Nay Brooks sent us this video that she took Wednesday morning of an Amazon drone that made an emergency landing just a few feet away from her apartment in Tolleson.
Early one morning, residents of an apartment complex were startled to discover that an Amazon Prime air delivery drone had fallen out of the sky, coming down smack in the middle of their courtyard. Thankfully, no one was hurt. It landed when nobody was nearby. So there were no injuries or property damage, luckily, but the incident did leave locals shocked and asking, how did this thing crash here at 6 in the morning?
And I look to my left, and that's when I see something big, and I'm like, what is that? I walk over to it and I get closer, and that's when I see the Amazon logo. And that's when I see, like, oh, this must be an Amazon drone.
So, in today's video, I want to talk about what happened with this drone, with the crash, what Amazon is saying about it, and more importantly, what it means for all of us as these autonomous delivery drones start buzzing around our neighborhoods. This story isn't just a weird one off event either. It is raising new questions about drone safety and oversight in residential areas. So, let's go ahead and jump into this story. So, exactly what happened? So, just a few weeks ago, Amazon launched its primary drone delivery service in Tolleson, a suburb of Phoenix, Arizona. So, it's one of Amazon's testing grounds for futuristic deliveries. And basically, how it works is if you live within about a 7 mile radius of the local Amazon fulfillment center, you can order certain items and have them dropped at your doorstep by drone, as long as the package is under 5 pounds, right? In fact, more than 50,000 items are eligible for drone delivery in this trial program. So the drone promises to get your order to you in under an hour. Sounds pretty convenient, right? Neighbors say they had been seeing these drones zipping overhead for days. One resident noted that the drones aren't even loud and that you can barely hear them go by until the drone crashed, right? Until Wednesday morning when one of Amazon's drones was in the middle of a delivery run when something went wrong. So instead of it returning to base, the drone made an unexpected beeline for the ground. It crash landed in the apartment complex's courtyard near 97th Avenue and Roosevelt Street. So one of the neighbors, Nay Brooks, was the first to spot the down drone laying there. And so when she realized it was an Amazon Prime air drone, she did what anyone else would do. She pulled out her phone and she started recording. Right. So it was about 6 o'clock in the morning. And I'm sure to her amazement, she probably asked, like, how in the world did an Amazon drone crash in the courtyard at 6 in the morning, right? So she immediately reported the incident. She called Amazon's customer service to say, essentially, your drone is in my yard. And Amazon assured her that the drone had onboard cameras and GPS and that a team was already dispatched to retrieve it. The company, Amazon, was quick to put out a statement after the crash. According to Amazon, this wasn't a crash at all, but rather a precautionary safe landing due to external factors outside of its control. In other words, the drone encountered some kind of issue, and they haven't said exactly what the issue was, and its automated system decided the safest course of action was to land immediately. Amazon's spokesperson emphasized that safety is our top priority and that the drone's onboard sensors did exactly what they were designed to do: find a clear spot and land where it wouldn't hurt anyone. Now, if you ask me, calling this incident a safe landing is a bit of a corporate spin, if we're honest. Most of us would call an unplanned drop from the sky as a crash. But from Amazon's perspective, the drone's emergency protocols worked as intended. It picked an open courtyard rather than, say, crashing onto a roof or a busy street. Still, the phrase external factors outside of its control does raise some eyebrows, right? That's a pretty vague explanation. It could mean anything, right? Maybe a sudden gust of wind, maybe a bird strike, maybe a technical glitch. We don't really know. Amazon did not elaborate on what those external factors were. Now, first and foremost, drone safety, when you have autonomous flying machines buzzing over residential areas, the what if scenarios can be scary. In this case, we got lucky. The drone came down in an empty courtyard and nobody got hurt. But imagine if it had been a little later in the day with people walking nearby, or if it had landed on a roof, a car, or even a person, all right, God forbid. These primary drones aren't tiny toy quadricopters, they're sizable pieces of hardware. So if one drops out of the sky, it could absolutely injure someone or cause damage. And that's why an incident like this makes headlines and makes residents nervous. It's literally bringing the risk home. Now, none of this is to throw cold water on the idea of drone deliveries. I've been involved myself, right? This concept is exciting and could be very useful if done right. But as consumers and community members, we should approach the hype with a bit of caution, right? Is all I'm trying to say. 5 or 10 years from now, drones might be as common as delivery trucks. But to get there, companies like Amazon need to prove not just the tech can fly, but that it can fly safely every time. So, in my opinion, the big takeaway from the Tolleson drone incident is it's a reality check. A small crash with a big message. It reminds us that as cool and convenient as autonomous drones may be, safety and accountability have to lead the way. And as consumers and citizens, we should hold these companies to a high standard, right? We should ask the tough questions. How are they ensuring these drones won't fall on someone? What happens if one does? Are there backup systems, oversight, or insurance, right? Pushing for transparency and strong safety protocols now will help make the technology safer for everyone in the long run. Now, there are real challenges to overcome, but let's encourage innovation. Let's also insist it's done the right way because nobody wants a future where you have to worry about the sky falling when you order your stuff online, right? With that said, thank you all for watching and listening. If you found this commentary useful, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. And if you like to support what I do, whether it's helping me stay caffeinated during late night edits or funding future videos, you can head on over to Buy Me a Coffee. Even if it's $1 or $2, it makes a huge difference. And every single contribution is genuinely appreciated, right? Let's keep the skies safe and keep the conversation going, you guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.